Kingpin started, Carney has been critical of Trudeau. He has been saying that he will scrap the carbon tax and even get the pipelines done. This is not that different from what you have been proposing. So are you concerned that Canadians will turn away from your party if given the chance to support a Liberal Party that has moved closer to your views in some of these issues?
Well, first of all, you have to ask if you can believe anything he says. Mr. Carney not only advised Justin Trudeau, he was his economic advisor for 5 years.
Another thing is, most of the Trudeau's inner circle help Carney to get into the politics. So what are we talking about that he was really against Trudeau? And that's what I'm saying, right? It's still a Liberal Party. Like, Trudeau is not at fault for everything. Like, he was prime minister, he was supposed to look out for his people, that's for sure. But there's still this political party behind him. And nothing changed on that side. So we literally just swapped faces and that's it. The ideas, agendas and everything, it's still there. It's just new person talking about it.
During which time Trudeau killed pipelines and raised carbon taxes. Mr. Carney publicly testified against pipeline construction at the industry committee. The other day, he put out a policy paper on getting things built that doesn't mention pipelines once. He said he's for pipelines when he was in British Columbia speaking English, and then he said he would let provinces veto them when he went to Quebec and was speaking French.
You know who he reminds me? Not Poilievre, but Carney. It literally reminds me the whole election between President Trump, and Kamala Harris. Like, again, do you remember the fracking? How Kamala originally was against fracking, and then she started like, oh yeah, we're gonna frag all the time. And it's like, you're lying. You said something else 3 years ago. And it's exactly the same situation. Like, who do you trust? Do you trust someone who made a statement and now he's saying that he's actually going to do something opposite? Or are you going to try someone who remained the same this whole time? Like, same opinions, same goals, everything.
On the carbon tax, he's on the record saying that not only he favors the carbon tax, but he thinks it should be higher. And what he's going to do is something very sneaky. This is going to be fun to watch. He's going to temporarily hide the carbon tax for the election. So the gas prices will drop for 35 days. And then if, God forbid, he wins, he will bring back a much bigger carbon tax with no rebate.
I would believe that, because like I said, it's still liberal political party, right? We didn't change the political party. We changed just the face and name. So yeah, who came up with a carbon tax? Liberals. Of course it's gonna happen. It's the stupidest tax ever. Like, literally, you're paying tax on every single cubic meter or liter of the natural gas you use. It's like your bill is like, I don't know, 20-30% higher only because of this carbon tax. It's ridiculous. One thing, don't take my word for it, but what I heard about Mark Carney is that he actually invested in the environmentally friendly company or something like that, like the company that's taking care of all of this. So the carbon tax is actually making him profit. Like, he's in the conflict of interest. You can search it out, you can Google it, but yeah, it's not as it looks. Like, he has a lot of conflicts of interest. Again, Mark Carney, not Pierre Poilievre.
He's already said that this tax would apply on things like steel. Well, use steel for everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this room could not stand up without steel supporting beams. Your vehicles that you got here for are steel. There's steel everywhere. Can you imagine the jobs we would lose if carbon tax Carney comes in and brings in a massive new tax increase on steel? He's admitted this tax will raise the price of automobiles.
How much more?
That's the choice we have in the election. Mark Carney has been wrong about everything. He likes to talk about his experience. His experience is being wrong. He was wrong about the carbon tax. He was wrong about pipelines. He was wrong to advise Trudeau for money printing inflation over the last 5 years. He's been wrong in the past, and he's wrong for our future.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I'm not a fan of Mark Carney so far, from what I've heard. And yeah, to me, it reminds me the same election, I don't know, call it a process, like between President Donald Trump and back then or former Vice President Kamala Harris, right? Out of nowhere, she was giving out the points that were completely different than what she said before. Like, where's your integrity? How did it change? And I understand that you can have different opinion now, but if you're in the position like this, maybe you should explain it a little bit more. Why are you in the different position? And let's remember, even though the Mark Carney was economist, he is a big investment guy. So he's all about profit, which sounds very similar to President Trump, right? But in the end, he's still a politician. Politicians lie. And if he wants to change his opinion, he needs to explain it. He needs to make sure people will trust him. Like, it needs to come from the good place, not just, okay, now it's popular like this, let's change that, right? Oh my god, my mouse is going crazy. Anyway, so yeah, that was Pierre Poilievre talking about Mark Carney. Let's see the next one.